are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. So Cardi B is threatening the female rappers. She is saying that she's ready to shake the table and clock all the female rappers in the game. She posted, I think this was in her Instagram secret chat, that, it's been 8 years since Bodak Yellow, okay? Celebrating that. She said, 8 years, maybe I should shake the table. Y'all ready to shake the table? Which means that she is planning on dropping soon. Let me know how y'all feel about this. I think she definitely could shake the surgery table with all them damn faces that she got. But I don't know if she can shake the table of music. Okay, because she ain't shake the table yet. I've never felt like Cardi B really had a big cultural moment in hip hop. I feel like she had a moment with WAP, but that was about it. Bodak Yellow, I don't know if that was a big cultural moment. That was really, going number one because of the Nicki Minaj hate train. But we talking about music. It was WAP, and WAP had several celebrities and Megan Thee Stallion as a feature right after she got shot by Tory Lanez. So let's not forget that. She got shot by Tory Lanez and then WAP dropped. So let's be very clear. So I don't really take, Cardi B too seriously. I think she's all talk. She never walked the walk. She's always talking, but she never really showcased her talent in the music. Now, Cardi B, who is an active listener in the Ash Miracle show, no shade, because if you guys remember, I talked about Cardi B hiding her baby a few weeks ago. She had her baby last year, but today she decided to show a picture of Blossom on social media. Some fans are still skeptical, saying the baby don't really look like Off the Cheap, but I feel like it looks like Cardi B and the remainder of her other children. But because the baby skin color is a little bit darker, people are still accusing Cardi B of stepping out on Off the Cheat and sleeping with Stefon Diggs. I feel like that's the only difference, though, is that Blossom skin color might be a little bit darker, but the face is still the same as the other children. It looks like to me. I don't know. Plus, a lot of people are also calling Cardi B out because she also spent Father's Day with Stefon Diggs. That's interesting. The Stefon Diggs Father's Day, celebration, like, even if you're not cool with Off the Cheat, why would you celebrate Stefon Diggs and y'all not married? Y'all boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird to me. To celebrate another man that you claim is not the father of your children, but it makes it look suspicious that he could be the father of your youngest if you're celebrating him on Father's Day and y'all just met last year. Let's just be honest, that's weird. I mean, that's just me, though. I feel like it might be too soon to celebrate Father's Day. Off the Cheat might feel a way about that. But with that being said, a lot of fans are calling her out and saying that, what she's doing is not right. And like I said before, they're accusing her of stepping out on Off the Cheat and having a baby with Stefon Diggs. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on from that, Doja Cat's label, RCA The Colorist, they are not happy with Doja Cat, okay? Doja Cat is currently, some fans are saying, in a hate train. People are dogpiling on Doja Cat, according to the kitty litters, because of the incident that happened between her and a fan a few days ago, okay? Where she called out the fan for making her feel uncomfortable for their interaction that they had a few weeks ago, even though she was looking very chummy in the video with the fan. Now, RCA The Colorist, they do not want to have to push back Doja Cat's rollout, because her rollout is supposed to be starting, but they do not want, her rollout to be affected by this bad press. They feel as though her next era may not do so well if fans do not support. And as we know, the Scarlet era she had a similar situation where she went off on the fans. And she was looking a hot stinking mess. She was walking around here looking like an angry, bald head scallywag with clown makeup. And, she didn't sell 100K first week. And, no shade, Scarlett kind of flopped. Okay, yes, The Town Is Dead went #1, but she really only had 1 or 2 hits on that album. And the album ain't bad. Like, I listened to certain songs on that album, and I was like, this could have gotten a push and really became a really big record. But she just had so much negative press. Now, in my opinion, I feel like Doja Cat is also acting out because she got dumped by Joseph Quinn. That's why I think she's acting out. I noticed when she got a man, well, not just any man. I noticed when she was with Joseph Quinn, she was very quiet on social media. She wasn't doing too much. She wasn't lashing out. When she was with the other guy, them evil R-word men on the racist chat rooms, she was acting a goddamn fool. But when she was with Joseph Quinn, she was very quiet, very mute. She started to showcase more of her girly side, especially when it came to the makeup and, her outfits. And it seems as though now that she got dumped, she might hold some resentment towards Joseph Quinn. Now, with that being said, she also posted a picture of Sammy from Jersey Shore. Some fans feel like she's insinuating that she will be crashing out again. Now, if you haven't never watched Jersey Shore, which that means you was living under a rock, we know that Sammy and Ronnie, they used to crash out about each other all the time on the show. Only she got dumped, so she don't have a Ronnie. But she do have Pebbles for brain. And with that being said, it looks like Doja Cat is gearing up to sabotage her own era again. Okay, she's insinuating that she will indeed be crashing out or acting a fool for this next era. And I can see RCA the colorist eventually shelving Doja Cat for her antics. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, Megan allegedly is having issues with Devil Nation, despite his beef with Nicki Minaj. Now, with that being said, Devil Nation, like I said before, Devil Nation is a little bit worried about Megan Thee Stallion's Act 3 era, considering that, whenever kind of flopped on the charts, and it seems as though people are not interested in Megan Thee Stallion musically. Okay, yes, she get these brand deals, and she has a bathing suit line that she's selling at Dollar Tree. But when it comes to the music, it's not selling. And with that being said, Devil Nation is looking for other female rappers to sign. Now, they dropped Can the Man. Can the Man, she kind of fire. I like some of her music. But unfortunately, she doesn't really have a big social media presence. And y'all don't support Can the Man. When she announced that she was signing to Devil Nation, y'all did not support her at all. With that being said, they also are interested in Gorilla Glue, but Gorilla Glue and Megan Thee Stallion are beefing, so that could be a little bit messy. They should have signed Iggy. That's what they should have done. I feel like if they had signed Iggy, Iggy probably could have had a longer career. Okay, but they are actively looking for another female rapper to sign, and allegedly Megan Thee Stallion, who is the princess of Roc Nation, she's not happy about this, okay? Because she wants to be the queen, the princess of Roc Nation. Rihanna no longer has that spot, even though she's still signed to Roc Nation, but she don't drop music, so she can't have that spot, according to Camel Face. But let me know who you think they should sign. I think that they should have signed Iggy when she was hot. Nobody cares about Iggy anymore. Now, some fans are clowning Tina Knowles, Queen Bee's mother, because she sent some lashings to the haters, okay? She was sending out lashings to the haters. She posted on Instagram and says struggling ticket sales while showing a sold out concert for Queen Bee's Stadium World Tour. So basically, she's trying to tell y'all that Queen Bee is selling out despite a lot of fans and blogs like TMZ who were pushing the narrative that she wasn't selling out. And here's the thing. I feel like people can't really use that narrative on Queen Bee because she grows so much during the tour. Okay? If somebody's grossing $400 million, $500 million every time they tour, they selling out. Okay? They ain't making that money out of the blue sky. That's not coming out of Queen Bee's ass. Okay? Clearly, she's making hella money on tour. That's why she constantly goes on tour. And then on top of that, she's selling out. If Queen Bee was not selling out, one thing I know about Queen Bee, if she not selling nothing, eventually it will end. Okay? Ivy Park ended. And with that being said, it ended. Okay? Same thing with House of Darion and all the other stuff Queen Bee used to do. But Queen Bee tours too much for her not to be making a coin. She tours like every 2 to 3 years. Okay? So every time she drop an album, she tour. It don't matter what's going on. She don't care about the tariffs. She don't care about the recession. She gonna force her fans to buy some tickets. So with that being said, she gotta be making a coin and selling out, because if she wasn't, she wouldn't be touring as much as she do. Okay? She'd be moving like Cardi B. Cardi B can't go on tour because it would not sell out. Okay? But we'll see what happens after this next album. Maybe things will change. Now, unfortunately, fans are also clowning the Queen of Christmas because she performed at a stadium show, but unfortunately, it was not sold out. It sounds like she was lip singing too, okay? That don't sound live to me. No shade to the Queen of Christmas. But am I shocked? Not really. Here's the problem with Mariah. You know, she's an icon. She's a legend in game. You can't even diss her, even if you wanted to. But she really only popping during Christmas time. And she should just stick to popping out during Christmas time. It just don't make sense to pop out in all the other seasons when you flop those seasons. You flop in the summer, you flop in the fall, and in the spring. But when November 31st hit, that's when the coinage and the people come out to support. When All I Want for Christmas can get played. I just feel like with Mariah, that's just her legacy right now. You know, she got classics. You know, you cannot deny that she is an icon in the game, but she's just not Queen Bee where she can just do a stadium tour. She just can't. And sell out, that's not even a tour. That's one show. She's not doing a stadium tour. But I just think she just don't have that type of career or effect. And I also think it has to do with the fact that she has been replaced successfully in the industry. You know, if you want the tea on her replacement, that is on Patreon. But with that being said, with the Queen of Christmas, she should just hang it up flat screen. It is no shade. Now, moving on to SZA and Doli. As we know, Doli is gearing up to release her highly anticipated debut album. Her mixtape won a Grammy. And so, you know, her label's hoping that she can win another one. And with that being said, her and SZA are planning on doing another collaboration. Now, if you don't remember, SZA and Doli collaborated on the Persuasive remix, which I didn't really particularly like. I liked the original Persuasive, but I didn't really care for the remix. But with that being said, you know, SZA, she always tops the charts regardless if something's trash or not. You know, she has a fan base that supports her no matter what. I think SOS is still on Billboard. Like, people really be supporting SZA. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm here for the collaboration. Hopefully, it's better than the Persuasive remix. That's all I gotta say. And I honestly think that if she collaborate with SZA, you know, last time, I don't think it went top 10 or even top 40. But if she collaborate with SZA this time around, it's going top 40 easily. And even top 10. Now, Justin Crackhead Bieber goes off on social media. He exposed that he cut off a friendship recently. I just feel like that was kind of childish to expose text messages, but what do I know? And then he posted this long ass, I guess, message on Instagram after he went viral for this clip of him going off on the paparazzi.
I'm not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
Now, Justin Bieber, the culture vulture, said, people keep telling me to heal. Don't you think if I could have fixed myself, I would have already? I know I'm broken. I know I have anger issues. I tried to do the work my whole life to be like the people who told me I needed to be fixed like them. And it just keeps making me more tired and more angry. The harder I try to grow, the more focused on myself I am. Jesus is the only person who keeps me wanting to make my life about others. Because honestly, I'm exhausted with thinking about myself lately, aren't you? Well, here's the thing about you, Justin, okay? I don't feel like focusing on yourself is a bad thing. The problem is you have a lot of unresolved trauma. That's why you don't want to focus on yourself. You want to focus on everybody else. You want to go off on the paparazzi because you got ran through it in the industry and, your parents sold you to the Illuminati. That's basically what it is. Let's just keep it all the way 1,000. We know Justin got his back blown out, and no shade, he probably resents a lot of people, some people that are currently on trial, not going to mention no names, but he probably resents a lot of people that have took advantage of him, and that's why he's upset. But Justin, if you don't go to therapy, if you don't seek help, it's only going to get worse. It's eating you alive. It's evident. Okay? Why are you crashing out every week? Every week you crash out. Because your trauma is eating you alive and you need help. Okay? I know seeing Diddy on trial is probably, going through your head. What if my name gets brought up? But I think that what you need to do is divorce Haley. She's no help. How are you going through all of this and Haley's probably just running up your credit card? What is Haley? What does she do? She don't do nothing. But with that being said, divorce Haley, seek a therapist, okay? And I would just try to focus on your music career because it looked like, you don't have a career right now. It's giving druggy influencer vibes. No shade. So I think you should focus on your career and divorce Haley. Now, moving on to the princess of pop, Man-Child becomes Sabrina Carpenter's second #1 hit on the Hot 100. The payola is back. Congratulations to Sabrina, because I don't believe that this was organic. No shade. Song was trash. I don't care what nobody says. That song is trash. The album cover is trash. But she do look good. And she is the new princess of pop. And she's telling y'all to bow down. So let me know if y'all like the record. I definitely don't. I got some very hot tea on Haley and Justin on Patreon. I got some tea on Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni on Patreon. Link will be in the description. And I hope you have a great day.